Okay, so now this is one of the pistons, number 3 piston out of that 1935 F-20. And if you look at it, I've kind of hit it with a highlighter here, or Sharpie here so you can see it. But every one I've taken apart has been marked. There's 1, 2, 3 punches there, and 1, 2, 3 punches there, and then a punch and a punch on both sides of those bearings. So you kind of get it all lined up the same way. So I'm going to take the rings off because I've got new rings coming. I need to clean out the ring grooves, and if you look, this oil groove is stuck. So this is a trick that I've learned by doing it over the years. What I like to do is I'll take these little inexpensive stainless little rulers, 6-inch rulers. I think you can pick them up at $1 or so at about every hardware store. I like to put them on it, and what this does is it prevents me from scratching the pistons. And I put rings on. Sometimes I put rings on the same way. So you put them on both edges, and then you take your third one or your fourth one, or however many you want to use, and then you slide it through. Try to get it all the way to the center, the middle of it, or as close as you can get. And that's how I take rings off. And you can put them on the same way if they're not horribly stuck. You just kind of have to make sure that it'll clear. And if you look, that second one cleared the first ring groove without dropping in it. And then here's our third one. It cleared all the other 2 grooves in front of it without dropping in. And there's 3 piston rings. So now I have an oil ring on here that's stuck. And the other 2 pistons that I've done, you can see what happens to the oil ring. So find the gap. And I just work at it kind of slow. I'm in no hurry. I just try to free it up, get it free if I can. You know, it's stuck in that groove pretty good. This one actually looks like it's trying to come out. So let's see here. It'd be nice to see if I could get it out without breaking this one. Look at that. That one came all the way. So there's another time to use these little rulers. Stick that one in. I'll grab that third one, I put it right on the edge. I'll run this one. See how slick that was? I had that, it's in the 4th ring groove, and now I just pulled it past the 3rd, the 2nd, and the 1st, and it never dropped back down inside those other grooves. So now if you look at it, it's pretty filthy. So what I like to do on all of them, I'm going to reuse the pistons, is I just take a piece of wire, and if you look right here, there's a bunch of little holes in here, and that's for lubrication. It goes in through the bottom, from the bottom of the top of the piston is where oil goes through. So you need these passages clear. So what I do is I'll take a piece of wire and stick them through there, and then a bit that's really close, and I'm not drilling it, I'm just kind of chasing it. Just want to clear all the carbon and rust and stuff out of there. You're not removing any metal, you're just cleaning it up. Every one of these holes, get them nice and clean. Just trying to get as much of that stuff out of there as you can so the oil has a good passage to work through. Okay, now I've got a ring groove cleaner, and I'll come over here to the vise and I'll stick it in it and see if I can't get all this junk out of there. So I just like to take my time and work slow. Put the piston in the vise. And I'll start at the top. Snug it up a little bit. And then we're just going around here and letting the little cutter do its work and let it clean some of the carbon and rust and grime out of those ring grooves. And I'll go down one and do the next one. And a lot of times I'll have to do them all 2 or 3, 4 times till I get them. Well, I just do them until I get them clean. Don't care how many times it takes, but I want it clean. So it's pretty simple, not much to it. Just want to be real careful. You don't want to scratch anything. You don't want to score anything in here. You just want it to be, just take your time, work slow. These little cutters are available about everywhere. They're not even very expensive. Just ring groove cleaner. You may even have one in your shop somewhere. Make sure it's in there good. And you can see it's getting a little better, but it's going to take a little bit more time. So up to the top one again, and then I'll tighten it up a notch or a tooth on the cutter. Now you can see we're doing some good now. Like cleaning it off, you can hear it changing the pitch of it. I'll drop down into the second groove. It's not very smooth. You can see by the way this is turning that it's still a little dirty, but it's getting there. There we go. Next groove. That one sounds about right. Now let's get this bottom one. That's smoothing up now. So take it off and let's take a look at it. See, the grooves in here are looking pretty good. There's still a little bit of junk in there I'm going to have to chase away. The pistons still need cleaning. Wrist pin needs to come out, get cleaned up. Inside the bottom of the pistons are pretty rough. They'll have to be cleaned up, but rods, the whole 9 yards. But that's how I started. That's how I do clean the ring grooves, just like everybody else. And then I'll just take my time and clean the pistons as best I can. You can't get them anymore, I don't think. I think the last thing I read was you need a machine shop to turn down a different piston. I think somebody said something. Read a couple things about a John Deere 4020 piston will fit, but you got to turn your piston down or cut the skirt off or something and do something different with the liner. So if you don't have to go through all that machine work to make it work, just take your time and see if you can get these pistons to wake up. Remember that you want it smooth, because the ring is what's actually riding on the inside of the cylinder or the inside of the liner. The piston actually doesn't rub up and down in there. I mean, it doesn't, it shouldn't, theoretically, it shouldn't touch much. The ring is what, they're a little bit, couple of thousandths proud of the diameter of the piston, so they should be what's riding up and down in the cylinder, not the, shouldn't be rubbing on the side of the piston. So that's why you just get it as clean as you can, make sure you don't have anything sticking out, no burrs on it anywhere, and just continue to do it and make it nice. Get it as clean as you possibly can without scratching it.